The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Mark, a seasoned hiker, trudged through the dense underbrush. He had been walking for hours, but a wrong turn somewhere had left him disoriented and lost. Exhaustion was starting to set in, his legs aching and his canteen almost empty. Just as Mark was starting to lose hope, he stumbled upon a small, weathered cabin nestled among the trees. The door creaked as he pushed it open, and he stepped inside, grateful for the shelter. The cabin was dimly lit, but Mark could make out the outlines of old furniture and a fireplace. As Mark lit a fire and warmed himself up, he noticed something peculiar about the cabin's interior. The walls were adorned with strange portraits, their subjects' eyes seeming to follow him as he moved. The paintings were old and faded, but there was something unsettling about them. Mark tried to brush it off as fatigue, but the feeling lingered. As the night wore on, Mark grew tired and decided to get some rest. He lay down on the creaky bed, trying to shake off the feeling of being watched. Despite the unease, he eventually drifted off to sleep. When Mark woke up, he was disoriented for a moment, unsure of where he was. As he sat up and looked around, he noticed that the portraits were gone. The walls were bare except for the windows, which seemed to stare back at him like empty eyes. Mark's confusion turned to alarm as he scrambled to his feet and searched the cabin. There was no sign of the paintings, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. As Mark stumbled out of the cabin and back into the forest, he began to question his own identity and sanity. Had he imagined the portraits? Was he losing his mind? The more he thought about it, the more he realized that something sinister was at play. The forest seemed to close in around him, and Mark knew he had to get out before it was too late. With a sense of urgency, Mark started walking, trying to find his way back to civilization. The forest seemed to shift and twist around him, making it impossible to get his bearings. As he walked, Mark couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that the portraits were still following him, their eyes boring into his skin. Mark finally stumbled out of the forest, exhausted and shaken. He never spoke about what happened in that cabin, but the experience left him changed. He couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed him out of the woods, something that would haunt him for the rest of his life.